It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
All right, 12:02 on a game day. Edmonton Oilers versus Todd McClellan and his Detroit Red Wings tonight. And Edmonton Sports Talk continues to have you covered all the way up until puck drop. And, of course, GCL Diesel post-game show to follow. But Two Guys and a Goalie from now until 1. EST afternoons with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage from 1 to 3. The Reed Wilkins show from 3 to 6 today. Right into the GCL Diesel pregame show with Tommy and Hernan at 6 o'clock, taking you up to puck drop. And then lots to break down from this one. Matt Cassian is going to join us in a second, but Hernan, we got to bring you in here first. So we were having a conversation, Gager. It was about Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Then Reed came over and said, Tom Selleck got offered Indiana Jones, right? But we were like, wow. And then both of us were like, instead of Quickly Down Under, because we really liked Quickly Down Under. Quickly Down Under was a good movie, wasn't
Quickly
it?
Down Under was a great movie.
Yeah. I like that more than 3 Men and a Baby. And I didn't mind 3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah, no.
But Quickly Down Under was better.
Quickly, I remember renting it. And I don't know, Tom Selleck, I always had that mystique about him. And he was a badass cowboy coming over to Australia and on the boat or whatever. And from what I mean, spoiler alert, I guess, but he was hired to like kill people.
Yeah.
And
he didn't to stop these people who were bothering.
And he didn't want to do it. And then they
like to kill bad guys though, right? Wasn't it?
Oh, I think it was indigenous people.
What?
Yeah. It was,
that didn't age well.
No. But
Louise.
he didn't do it, obviously, and went back and was the hero at the end of it all. And then, it was great.
Tom Selleck's always a hero.
Oh, man. It was, I might have to rewatch Quickly Down Under.
Should we watch Quickly Down Under?
I think we should.
Let's do it. You know what? Bring it in. Let's find it. One day I'll stick around, and after your show at 3 o'clock, we'll just watch Quickly Down Under in the office. And then when Reed and Jay are doing their show, they'll hear us laughing. Like, what are those guys laughing at? Oh, Dustin and Gage are watching Quickly Down Under. So I'm pretty sure Hernan's never seen Quickly Down Under.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's a movie with Tom Selleck.
Okay.
So that conversation popped back around to Indiana Jones. And what did you say to us, Hernan?
I've never watched Indiana Jones in
like
my
the
life.
fourth one? Like the fourth or fifth one?
None of them.
The first one?
None of them.
Or Last Crusade? Even.
No.
That blows my mind. How you're in your 40s. How does a 40-year-old man have never seen Indiana Jones?
Just no interest in it. It looks cheesy, bad.
Oh man!
Oh my God!
I've never watched.
I might not do the show this afternoon.
I'll drop another one. I've never watched Back to the Future.
Get away from me. Shut off your mic and leave.
It's unbelievable. What are you're just dead inside.
Have you watched any movies ever? You can put them in a machine and watch them on your TV.
I'm a movie guy, man.
Doesn't sound like you're a movie guy.
I watched all the Godfathers.
Yeah.
What else?
There's only one real good one of that anyway.
Yeah, I just never got into those kind of movie boys. I haven't watched a lot of superhero. I've never watched The Dark Knight.
Oh my God. That might be like a top 10 of all time.
Well, YouTube Trev says it's one of the worst movies of all time.
Well, that's just a horrible take. The Dark Knight? One of the worst movies ever? Oh my God, you're the worst. Now, what's going on with movie takes around here?
It's awful.
Yeah, Reed Wilkins is saying Dark Knight's overrated. Hey, why so serious, you guys? Jeez. Hernan has not seen Back to the Future or Indiana Jones. Yeah, and I would suggest Back to the Future.
I might give it a shot. Like, which one should I? Well, they're all in order, right?
You're right. You watch them all.
Watch all three of them. I don't like Temple of Doom as much as the other two. Like, I love Last Crusade. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that's.
But Raiders of the Lost Ark and Back to the Future, if you were to look up a list right now, they would probably be 2 of the top 5 movies of the 1980s.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Better than The Breakfast Club?
Better than The Breakfast Club.
Is that what you watched when as a kid, did you not? What did you do?
Yeah.
I played outside, bro.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
What movies did you go to?
I was a weird kid. I wasn't into superhero or cartoons.
What's the first movie that you remember going to as at your youngest age?
Oh boy, that's a great question, man. Let me think about it.
Do you remember the first movie you ever went to? I remember the first movie I went to without my parents. It was Wayne's World.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't remember the first movie I ever went to.
See, that's a classic.
Wayne's World was a classic.
Yeah.
Like 9 of us in grade 6 went to it or some grade 7.
Well, I went to a few. My dad took me to a few. I remember going to Raiders. My mom and dad took me.
Okay.
Yeah, Capital 6 downtown, just off Granville. I remember going to see that with them. That was awesome. But I would go to the Stanley all the time. I saw Dune there as a kid. My mom would take me to the double features. It was what was it, 9 to 5 with Dolly Parton? I remember going to see that with The Incredible Shrinking Woman. I remember that one. They took me to movies all the time. I loved movies, though. I just loved going to movies and eating popcorn and getting pop. That was the best. And if it was an action movie, like, you don't like action movies, hey?
What type of movies
do you watch?
like?
John Wick?
I've seen a few.
Okay.
They're pretty good.
So what is your go-to type of movie then? Because you said you didn't do cartoons or like action hero movies growing up.
I like sports movies.
Okay.
I like kind of like the mob kind of movie style, that kind of stuff. I like high anxiety movies.
Really?
Like Argo.
Oh yeah, Argo was good. I liked Argo.
Yeah. So like I like all kinds of movies, guys.
Just not popular ones. VR Montenegro was asking me why I hired Hernan Salas. All right, Nan, so you can go. He's got a show to get ready for. All right, well, let's bring in Matt Cassian. Cass, what have you made of the last 7 minutes of conversation here on Two Guys and a Goalie?
I'm pretty horrified that Hernan hasn't seen some of those movies like that. I love you, Hernan. There's no excuse. No excuse for like Back to the Future. I mean, like the 3 kids in a grown-up movie. I get that. I haven't seen that. I don't know what it is or whatever. 3 guys,
3 kids and a baby.
A teenager, whatever. And like I haven't seen that Tom Selleck movie. That's understandable. But Back to the Future. Hernan, Back to the Future.
Like, even the scores are iconic. Like,
Yes.
You hear that music and you know what movie it's from, right? Crazy.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing to me. Little disappointing.
And we're starting a segment tomorrow. It's called Zach to the Future.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so
Wasn't
jealous.
that your idea too?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, like, I know
Wait a
the
second.
premise and I know the names.
You're
and
like
all
a
that.
guy pretending to be a dentist to just tell dentist jokes.
Yeah.
What's Zach to the Future? Spoil. You can spoil it.
Well,
a little bit,
it's just gonna be clips and movies and sports moments of the 80s, 90s trivia for our young Zach, who was born in 2003.
Okay. Well, that's a fun.
That's
bit,
a good
actually.
one. I like that.
That is a fun one. Yeah, he doesn't know anything. That's a very
Well, neither
valuable
does
thing for
Hernan.
him.
I don't know what he's going to ask him.
Yeah. God. Bronco Nick says, my first movie was Back to the Future. Yeah, he was. That's awesome. I mean, my house is covered.
You guys want to know
Future stuff.
my first one?
Yes.
I remember going to. So there may have been one before this, but I don't remember. This is the first one I remember going to. It was actually our babysitter. Her name was Shannon. First babysitter that actually like babysat us multiple times, my brothers and I, because they just would babysit us once and never want to come back because we were just horrible, absolutely horrible. We only had 2 ever. My whole time as being a kid, we had 2. One was named Jordan, one was named Shannon. That actually repeat. And Shannon just laughed at everything we did, and Jordan beat the snot out of us. Like, it probably would be really inappropriate now, but he had full reign from my parents. Like, if they do something, you can kick the crap out of them. And this one time, we used my little brother to lure him out of the house, and then we locked all the doors so we could co-play video games. So we lured him out of the house. Like, Johnny ran around, locked all the doors so he couldn't get in. He crawled in through the roof. We had left a window open in the bedroom upstairs. He went on the roof, got in through the window, came in the house, and just beat the snot out of us. It's
Man,
funny.
you guys were terrors.
We were horrible. Like, we play the escape game where it's like we take turns like tying each other up, and then you'd have to like get out of all the knots, but we'd intentionally like do it loose to ourselves, and then we'd like convince the babysitter to do it, and then same thing, we just tie them up and like go play video games, but like legitimately, like, so they couldn't get out. It was awful. We were terrors. But Shannon was one that just rolled with everything, and so she took us to a movie the one time. And the movie that she took us to, so first movie I remember going to, and this is a good one, I'm happy it's this one, was Beverly Hills Ninja with
buddy,
with Farley. Yeah.
What was his name in that one? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
It sounds like Cass had Elizabeth Shue in Adventures of Babysitter.
I was just going to say, did you have a massive crush on your babysitter?
Oh, Shannon was the best. She was awesome. Yeah.
Beverly Hills Ninja. Yeah. I like this one too. This is a pretty good drop from Max Pazuzu. First one I remember is Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren.
Gosh,
Remember that
yes.
movie? Masters of the Universe was great.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good movie. Haru. Chris Farley, Haru.
Yeah.
Haru. Yeah. Remember his poor brother?
Yeah, he was.
That was a great movie. God, Farley, man, it's too good. All right, that was a fun conversation. Should I try this thing?
Yes.
So what is this, Gager?
It's a spring roll.
It sounds pretty hard, eh?
Yeah, just
Look at
it'll be
this.
fine. It'll be good. Let's have a bite.
I don't really do spring rolls. I'm going to pretend that it's a crisp beef burrito
It
from
is.
Taco Time.
Basically, that's what it is.
There you go.
Well, let's see. I want a ketchup, but you said we didn't have any ketchup.
No, we don't need ketchup for spring roll. Dusty.
Not bad.
Dusty likes it. Hey, Dusty.
I like crisp beef burritos better, but that's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
All right. Okay, good.
All right. Well, always remember this day because Klingberg's making his debut.
Yeah, and Dusty likes spring rolls.
And I do like spring rolls. And Hernan's never seen Indiana Jones or Back to
God,
What a
man.
day. What an amazing day.
Yeah, he said that. He doesn't like superheroes. He likes high anxiety movies. And for a guy that's kind of high strung, I don't get it. Why put
Doesn't
yourself
sound
through that?
healthy for him.
No.
I'll tell you that. All right. So Klingberg's going to play. Looks like it'll probably be Stetcher. That comes out.
Yeah.
What do you expect tonight, Gager? Like, what's the conversation you think we're having tomorrow?
Well, how he looked, how he defended, and I don't see him playing. What do you set his over under of his minutes tonight? Like
15.
Yeah, I was going to say
14,
16.
15.
I was gonna
think
say
that
16.
much? Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. I was going to say like 10 and a half is kind of where I'd set
I
it.
think they were saying that they plan on playing him with different partners.
Oh, okay.
So that makes me think it's going to be 14 to 16 minutes.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like
But it probably just depends on the game too, though, like how the game is going. If they're in the driver's seat of this game, like if they have the lead, they're up 2 goals, 3 goals, he's going to play a lot more. If it's close, minutes probably going to drop, I would assume. But yeah, I would peg it at like that 15-minute mark would be like my over-under.
Is it too soon to think that he might get if say Bouchard gives the puck away a few times and Klingberg's looking okay?
no way.
Do you think
You think on night 1 they're going to put him on power play 1?
Well,
No.
No.
No. Okay.
This brings me back around to the worst take I've seen, actually. Not your take, Gager, but I had it on my list of things that I wanted to discuss today because, man, I tweet too much. I'm trying to scroll back through my tweets. And I'm like, God, man, we get it. There's a show in the morning. Where is it here? I did a funny. I used that Blink-182 guy, the WTF gif.
Yeah.
I think I did it last night. I was up very late last night. Here it is. Yeah, Jordan Schmaltz. Schmaltz played in the NHL for a little bit.
Yeah.
He tweeted, one guy I'd be looking to potentially move at the deadline is pending RFA Evan Bouchard. If I'm Stanny Bowman, I think I calls him Stanny. If I'm Stanny Bowman and I see a body of work over the next 15 odd games from Klingberg that warrants PP1 QB ability, are you okay with maybe getting a solid return on the next 25-year-old out of Oakville, Ontario? Something to keep an eye on. Like, I just can't imagine a world where you got a guy who's got 49 points in his last 37 playoff games, and you're going to watch Klingberg for 15 minutes or 15 games and go trade. Like, I think that is one of the stupidest things I have ever heard. There's no way an organization would do that, would they, Cass? Like,
we were hearing that in the post game from people. Right? Like that's.
And then I also think they have a stupid take too.
I think it's a horrible take.
Yes.
Like again, I get where you feel because he has had some bad turnovers. He's made some questionable plays this year. I get how you feel upset with some of Evan Bouchard's play. I get that. But offensively, he's still contributing. The puck is still going in. You're still in a really winning position as a hockey team. On what planet, guys, does it make sense to trade a mid-20s defenseman that has no injury history, that has no major surgeries, that you were anticipating was potentially going to put up 80-plus points this year, that's going to be a regular 60-plus point guy as a defenseman? What planet are you going to get better by trading this guy? You're not. Like, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. No. Just no. Stop. If you think that to yourself, go look in a mirror, look yourself in the eye and say, self, be better. Because It's just no.
I can't see it. The first reply was from an Edmonton Oiler Lytics account that says, "Lay off the hard drugs." Bouchard makes some plays that frustrate you, I think, especially for all you fans out there watching and listening and stuff. But you're going to replace him with a 32-year-old coming off surgery that was minus 84 in his 4 seasons leading up? That was my hot take today, Gager.
No.
What did I say? If Bouchard really wants to win fans over, he needs to get 6 years older, become significantly worse, and have both of his hips operated on. Like, I just don't understand how there are people in this market or outside of this market that are like, well, Bouchard's got to be worried because Klingberg's here. Like, I don't get it.
It's it's kind of become a little comical too, because he had a couple pretty good pizzas up the middle that got turned over, and there were good scoring chances against, and you can hear it even in the stands. People are like, there's rumblings afterwards.
Some guy
right?
texted in who's in the stands. Like, this is the worst I've heard it.
It was pretty bad. Like, and but like I said, I don't think this is a low point for Evan Bouchard. There's a lot of more upside. He's got a lot better in him. He's just going through a really, really rough time right now. And you have to be, that's why the people that are in positions of management within NHL teams are there, because they don't pull the trigger after taking 15 games into account.
Unless you're Peter Chiarelli and Ryan Strome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe then. But where's Chiarelli now?
Yeah. All right. It's Two Guys A Goalie, presented to you by GS Construction. They've been setting the industry standard for 50 years with quality, efficiency, and safety, driving their success. GS Construction, with a foundation built on teamwork, and now they want you to become a part of the team. Visit www.gsconstruction.ca. Click Ready to Work right on their page. Just scroll down. Ready to Work right there at gsconstruction.ca. And with the Next Up Person program at GS Construction, it's not just a job, it becomes a career. You can also visit their page over at indeed.ca as well. Kass, are you on pre and post tonight?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. So just to wrap this conversation here, if Klingberg doesn't make a mistake and Bouchard tosses one up the middle, are you prepared for the messages you guys will receive after the game?
Yeah, I'm just going to prepare my 1-word or 5-word responses. There's going to be a lot of just no. And there's going to be a lot of just give your head a shake. Is that 5 words? Give your head a shake. Yeah, 5 words. Yeah. Yeah, because no, I'm not prepared for it, but I will be.
That was, I think we just got the announcement of Canada's, the letters. For Team
Canada's
Canada.
captain? Is that what it was?
So
Let me get Sid, Connor, McKinnon, Marchand.
Well, they might give it to the
Makar.
defenseman, though. Yeah.
Those are the 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so Makar, McDavid, Crosby.
Hopefully I'm trying to get Stan with.
Oh, yeah.
So he sent me a picture of where he is right now.
So he's not going to make it today.
Not going to make it today, but
he's such a. So is he skiing in the Swiss Alps? Where is this?
Basically, yeah, he's skiing in Europe right now with a onesie. Where it looks like
it's an amazing picture.
It's an amazing with a Farrah Fawcett.
Is he a beauty? He's wearing a Farrah Fawcett t-shirt under like a rainbow ski outfit.
A onesie ski
with a matching headband.
Yeah.
And actually matching sunglasses as well. So do you think he could come in Monday? Tell him when he's in town next time to get him in here. Sandman would love this.
Oh,
I mean, he'd sit here, he'd be great. Jeez. What a life.
I know. Hey, can you make it? Sends that.
Just that. Like, what do you think? You know what you should have said? You said, what about by phone?
So video out of the question?
Yeah, so no video, but what about a phone? Maybe. Anyway, Saad, he's got some good stuff going on. He's GS Construction. He's skiing halfway around the world right now. So having a good day there. All right. What do we make of Brandon Saad? Kass, it's Gaz. So we had Gazdick on this morning. Gazdick it's funny because he's like, it was like, I don't really think it's like he said he's watched him a few times this year. He doesn't think he's the player he even was last year. I know the analytics crowd is worried because he's getting crushed in that department this year unless he's out against like fourth liners. But then partway through the conversation, Gazdic was like, well, does have a couple Stanley Cups and a depth guy. Like I said, if they pick him up, they pick him up. If they don't get him, I'm not like, oh my God, they missed. But there's the connections there, obviously, to Chicago and Stan Bowman. He drafted him. He's traded for him back again at another time. Cass, what do you make of the linking of the Oilers and Brandon Saad?
I mean, you can't pay him what he's making now.
No,
right?
Okay. Like, he's not going to get that, right? Like,
it's got to be league minimum. At league minimum, okay, is a depth option, maybe. Is he really going to fit into your top six is the question, because he's not necessarily a guy that's and that to me, then there's your answer, right? Like, is he a guy that can slide immediately into your top six? No. Then why? Then why? Like, he's not going to bring you that edge that you might not necessarily have in the bottom six. I get where people are talking about it. And hey, listen, the guy put up over 20 goals last year, so I understand why you're talking about it. But to me, if he's not going to play in your top six, then the answer is just an unequivocal no. Don't do it, even if it's cheap.
Yeah, it almost seems like it's just unnecessary. If to me, it's if they get him, it's nice. I guess Skinner will never get into the lineup, or Kapanen will be out a bit, and he'd have to be a bottom six forward. And I just tweeted out the question, like, can they sign him if it's more than league minimum? And Gaz made a great point this morning. He goes, why would he agree to have his contract terminated by the Blues with that much still left on it if his agent didn't know that there's $2 or $3 million sitting around out there somewhere?
There has to be. There has to be something else for him to just walk away, because he had another year at 4.5, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
he walked away from a pretty good chunk of money.
So, and I mean, his career earnings are over 50. Hernan and I checked; they were over 50. But I see. I don't remember anything of Saad the last few years. I only see him in a Blackhawks jersey winning Stanley Cup. Yeah. So I'm just like, get this guy. He's unbelievable. And then I realized that was almost a decade. Well, it was a decade ago when they were doing this. So you guys say top six, but I'm trying to think, do I have time for him in the bottom six at a league minimum? And part of
who are you going to pull of the lineup? Who are you going to pull of the lineup?
Well, just based on tonight's lineup, I would assume it would be Skinner.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be Skinner. Right? They're taking him out of the lineup now when they have their other bodies in there. So it's going to be Skinner, and then it would have to be Perry or Philp or Kapanen, I guess.
I guess. And maybe it's just maybe he's not playing every game. Maybe he's a safety valve for injuries.
Which at a league minimum, you got a guy with 2 cups kicking around like that.
It's not a bad thing to have.
I think I'd rather, well, depending on what you believe in the centers and wingers thing, I think I'd rather have Brandon Saad as a 14th or 13th forward than Derek Ryan. Come playoff time.
Exactly.
But it's at league minimum. If somebody the Oilers can't sign this guy for $2.5 million and then all of a sudden have less of what they need at the cap to go out and make actual adjustments that are required.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of, if they get him and it's league minimum, then fine. But if somebody else signs him for a couple million, there will be no criticism towards the Oilers organization from me for not getting it done.
I just think maybe with his role really defined as it would be here, like, look, you're not going to play top six. We need you to be a reliable defensive forward. He comes in knowing that, and with the experience that he has, I kind of have time for it a little bit. Maybe he can find something in his game. But if it's not,
I just don't see it happening.
I don't see it. It's not what the Oilers need. And I think you guys brought this up too this morning, where you don't need Brandon Saad. You need Klingberg to replace Bouchard, so you can trade Bouchard at the trade deadline and get something good. I'm just kidding.
I saw we didn't even get to it today, but somebody said in a text this morning that had Brennan and Dale in Step Brothers in their tuxedos interviewing, and it's like Brandon Saad and Jonathan Taves interviewing with Stan Bowman before the playoffs. Like, hello, Miss Lady. Like, I think that would be kind of interesting. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Baggio is in. He says, guys, I'm behind on the feed a little bit, but these takes on Indiana Jones and The Dark Knight and Back to the Future are freaking me out. How is this possible? Are we in a bizarro world? Like both Trev and Reed. I take Reed's movie opinion a little bit higher than Trev. Don't tell.
Yeah.
Even he was like a very overrated movie. But I love The Dark Knight.
I thought it's the best Batman. It's the best one.
I would 100% agree with that take. Cass, you think The Dark Knight's the best Batman ever?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not even. I don't want to say it's not even close, but it's the best, definitely.
Remember watching it the first time when he slammed the guy's head through the pencil in front of all the gangsters?
Yeah.
Like, what a move.
Well, when he first puts on the suit and goes into the shipyard, like, and someone picks up the little shrieking throwing star Batman, like, little knife that he was punching out all the lights with. Like, I was just on the edge of my seat watching that.
Ryan is in and says, man, we really hit it. He goes, I just watched all 3 Back to the Futures the other week. Great movies. My favorite. And he's got the DeLorean Lego set that he's got a picture of it too.
I've got that. That's in my office.
Made up already?
Yeah.
Like you guys did it?
Yeah.
How long did that take?
My son did most of it. But there's 3 different, you can pick 3 different DeLoreans. I picked from Back to Future 2 with the what's it called?
Mr. Fusion.
The Mr. Fusion on the back.
Yeah, well, I know everything about Back to Future. Guys, Saad had a hat trick on January 3rd versus Ottawa. Yeah, Gazdick actually pointed out this morning. He's actually only scored in 3 games all season. He had a hat trick and he had 2 2-goal games. So when he's hot, he's hot. So maybe you find out it would work. That could probably maybe be the case on that front. Did you guys see this Edmonton first quarter century team?
Hernan just told me the names.
Okay, so here's Cass. Have you seen this at all today? You've probably been busy working, but I'm gonna lay it out for you.
I haven't looked at it yet. No.
Okay, so this was released. Okay, actually, that's fun then. If you haven't looked at it yet, let's play this game. Over the last 25 years, so from 2001 to 2025, they just released a first team and a second team for the Oilers, and all the teams are doing this. They've staggered them on days and stuff. Fun little content, I think, from the NHL. So there's a first team, and then there's a second team. 3 forwards, 2D, and a goalie. Since the turn of the century, Cass, who would be your 3 forwards on the first team?
For the Oilers?
Yeah, and it's just based off you have to have played a game for the organization.
Yeah. Well, you got to have McDavid. You got to have Draisaitl right now. They probably go Smitty, wouldn't they? Wouldn't that be the one?
Incorrect.
Then he's second team. First team. Would they go Doug Weight?
No, he only played like the very first year of this thing. So I think his last year with it was 2000, 2001 was Doug Waite's last year.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
He had one year,
year.
but they obviously didn't view it as enough.
They didn't view that as enough. Who else is going to be that top forward there? Not Hemmer. Who's going to be the forward? I mean, D, you're probably same thing one season. I don't know if they put him on here. That's where I don't know some of the parameters. Like for the D, it's probably Pronger.
It's not Pronger, but we'll have a Pronger conversation.
Yeah.
There's a Pronger conversation to have.
Yeah. Okay.
But Cass, I'll just tell you right now, the 3 forwards and 2 defensemen are all active right now on this team.
Well, then they went Nurse and Bouchard.
Nurse, Bouchard,
and Hyman, obviously.
No, Nuge.
Hyman.
Nuge. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on pace to play the most games, I guess, in franchise history. But so the first team is Draisaitl, McDavid, Nuge, Bouchard, Nurse. And the goaltender is?
Post 2000s?
Yeah.
I mean, he could be Roley, probably Roley. Maybe Tommy Salo. Yeah.
Yeah, Roley. And then Tommy Salo's the second team goalie.
Was the second. Yeah.
And then you had Ryan Smyth. You mentioned Hemsky. You need
Yep.
2 more defensemen on the second team and 1 more forward.
And they didn't put Pronger. Would they go Eric Brewer
Nope.
as a defenseman?
These are tough.
These are tough.
Jason
This would be
Smith.
tough. Jason
is
Smith, I
one
was
of
just
them.
about to say, yeah.
Yeah. The other one
Gator
is,
would have been, yeah.
the other one is actually Matthias Eckholm.
Is it?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
Sean Horkoff is the third forward up there.
Yeah.
So I mean, the big conversation here, when I saw it, I was like, okay, what's the criteria? And they said all they have to have is play a game. And nothing against, I like Eckholm. I'm a huge Eckholm guy. But at this point, it's like 2 years of Eckholm gets you on this team ahead of the season that Pronger had in 06.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe it, man. Like,
No.
Maybe they didn't want people to get mad at them. Because that'll dredge up some old feelings.
I think that people might be mad at him anyway.
Yeah.
Like Chris Pronger, 1 year, but he didn't have McDavid and
What a year.
Draisaitl and basically took that team to a game 7 in the Stanley Cup final. Like,
Chris Pronger was one of the greatest defensemen to play. And for a few years there, he was dragging teams to the Stanley Cup final. And the only reason they were there was because of Chris Pronger. Edmonton doesn't go that far without Chris Pronger.
not even close.
And he took the Flyers to the finals too, right? And then he won in Anaheim.
The Ducks,
Yeah. But it was Mac T said it. He goes, it was a luxury knowing I could put a guy out there. He would play 35 minutes, and the other team wasn't going to score while he was on the ice. That's how he put it. It's crazy.
These teams were selected by broadcasters, both nationally, locally, and NHL.com writers who have covered the respective teams, in addition to select former players. But, I mean, of all these defensemen, Chris Pronger is the greatest defenseman the Edmonton Oilers have had. I don't care if it's just one season.
Yeah.
He's the best defenseman that they've had. To have Eckholm on there ahead of the 1 year that Pronger had almost seems like the people voting on this held a grudge against Chris Pronger.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, if you look at it,
Well, or they just,
how else do you justify
or they
it?
just didn't, or they just are looking at it and going, he's going to be on 3 other teams.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he wasn't on this one.
Yeah.
You know,
I know, but I'm saying they're going to be like, oh, well, he's going to go for Anaheim. It'll be him and Niedermeyer in Anaheim. And he's going to go for Philly, and he's going to go for St. Louis. So
that should just be even more of a reason to put on
I
this team.
know. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that is probably some of the justification because he absolutely should be on the first team. Chris Pronger in his prime in Edmonton, or Evan Bouchard. Chris Pronger. Chris Pronger in his prime in Edmonton, or Darnell Nurse. Chris Pronger.
Yeah.
Chris Pronger, or Jason Smith, Chris Pronger, or Eckholm, Chris Pronger,
What
no
player?
brainer.
What player can St. Louis? I believe was it Brett Hull and Curtis Joseph being inducted into the St. Louis Hockey Hall of Fame? I think it was last weekend, or maybe it was just Curtis Joseph. But Curtis Joseph was a great player here too. But Chris Pronger, looking at all those teams he played with, he could go into every team into their Hall of Fame or their wall of whatever, recognition, so to speak, because he was that good. Every single one of those teams.
What do you think of Roley and Salo? I mean, was there anybody else that...
During this time, Talbot had a great one season.
he
but
was top 5 in Vezina.
But he didn't go to the finals. Roley... That 06 run, he was just ridiculous. And Tommy was awesome for a few seasons there before the unfortunate Olympic goal. No, I don't have a problem with the goaltending. They were arguably, Tommy was top 5 in the world at that time, I would say. Maybe within the top 10 for sure. And Roley was a real consistent guy that, he made a good team, an okay team, a good team.
Joaquin voting for himself? Question mark? You would fit the beginning of this criteria. What was your last year? 01?
01, yeah. I don't.
Didn't make it. Can you believe these guys?
No, that's ridiculous.
Can you believe?
I was looking at my
guys?
stats when I got to the minor. They sent me down. I played, 37 games. had a goals against of 3.33 and a save percentage of 9.05 or 0.905.
905 is not bad.
Yeah, I was busy, obviously.
You obviously faced a lot of shots.
Yeah.
905 save percentage of GAA well above 3. You mentioned when we first asked you the question, Cass, you did say you thought maybe it'd be Ryan Smyth. What do you think about Nuge being ahead of Ryan Smyth? Do we have a mute? I think we have a classic mute scenario here.
Yeah.
I didn't click mute on myself, so I don't know.
Huh, weird.
That was Maddie.
Maddie came in and muted Cass just so we would chirp.
He's like, hey, he doesn't want to.
It's his birthday. You can do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a toss-up to me. Like, I feel like maybe the nostalgia in me is like what wants Smitty to be on there. I mean, I mean, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was part of getting the team within a game of winning the cup last year.
It's close.
I still would probably have
close.
Smitty in front of him. It is close. I probably would have Smitty in front of him, but not by much. Like they both deserve to be on there. Legitimately,
they would have been the 3-4 guys
to me.
For most people. Like it would have been one or the other. I think up there with McDavid and Draisaitl. Would you go Nuge or Smitty on that top team?
I'd go Smitty.
Yeah,
on the top with it just fits better because he's like Hyman, but
are you building a line?
I'm building. Yeah.
I like the fact that you're building a line. You're like, I think Smitty would play better there.
I think so. Just Hyman's he's a little greasy, but Smitty the Moulet is really greasy.
Smitty's real greasy.
Yeah,
real greasy.
He'd be chiseling points off McDavid and stuff. It'd be great.
You would.
He would. Here, I touched that.
Yeah, it was me.
It grazed my pants.
Like Matthias Janmark with his second goal of the year. Right? Still has not shot a puck past the goal yet this season. Maybe he comes out for Brandon Saad if they end up bringing in Brandon Saad today. All right. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Troll is in this. Salo was better. Rolly got it because of the 06 run. There's a few other texts that I don't want to read. People suggesting who voted on this. Let's see here.
Oh, just so for some hockey lingo that people may not understand, the word chiseling in hockey is stealing points from your own teammates. That's so right. If just to clarify in the hockey dictionary.
All right, let's get to hire it or fire it for GS Construction. GS hiring now. They're hiring all the time. They should just say hiring all the time. Become a part of their great team today by visiting gsconstruction.ca or their page at indeed.ca. For the past 50 years, that's half a century. That's two of these teams.
Wow.
GS Construction has been built on efficiency, quality, and safety. Take your career to the next level. Join the team at GS Construction and join Sandy in the mountains right now. Who knows? Maybe that guy with him is an employee that started as a job and made it a career. You know,
probably did.
You never know.
Did. Yeah.
All right, let's start here, guys. Hire it or fire it. Todd McLellan should have done more with what he had in Edmonton.
Oh, fire it. That was a while ago. He had some young players. He had to rely on McDavid far too much, and he fell victim to poor goaltending. I'll fire it.
I would fire it as well. Cass, what do you think?
I'm going to hire it.
Great year. Had that one great year.
Yeah. And that's where it's like you had the one great year and then you fell apart. I'm going to hire it. Should have done more. I get that there were some decisions made by management that didn't support it from a roster standpoint. I get that, but he still needed to do more. I'm gonna hire it. He should have done more.
I'm gonna fire it just because it felt like Chiarelli was sabotaging the team over and over and over again with every move that he made.
That would be great to talk to him about that time.
McLellan?
Yeah, and see if he was like in line with what they were doing or like what the are you
Did you hear what Tommy said on the Oil Stream yesterday?
No, I didn't.
He said that Chiarelli sat down with Todd McLellan in the evening, and Todd was like, "Are you firing me?" And he said, "No." to his face and then fired him the next day. Yeah. That sucks. That's you might have just ripped that Band-Aid off that night, man.
Yeah.
I mean, unless something significantly changed. But we were going over the list. What was my one hot take today? Todd McClellan should have done more with Joseph Gambardella and Josh Curry. Like, these were the guys that they were rolling out there as depth guys at the time. It's so much better now. All right. The Oilers should find a way, somehow, some way, to move Skinner prior to the deadline. Hired or fired. He's got the no movement. There's got to be some convincing. I don't know how you do it, but should they try to exhaust every avenue to move him?
Yeah, I'm gonna hire this. And for a long time, I've flipped. So for a long time, I was on fire it. You want to keep him around in case the top guy goes down, and maybe it works to slide him in there in the top 6. But the more we go, the more I lean towards you need to try to move him out of here. And I think you do that by having him sit in the press box, which he's been doing a lot already. I mean, he doesn't want to not play. He's going to want to get another contract somewhere. He's going to want to make more money. And if he's not getting an opportunity, he might be open to going. So I think you got to try to move him if you can. And that's a flip for me, guys. I was on the other side of it for a while, but I have since switched my opinion. And I think that Jeff Skinner needs to be on his way out here if you can convince him to go, which I don't think should be too hard if he keeps sitting.
I am it's keeping him.
Yeah.
I'm firing it. He is going to score
You still believe this?
important goals in the playoffs.
25 goals, yeah.
He's going to
Peter
have
Klima.
He's John Druce.
He is going to score a overtime winner in the playoffs. Bank it.
I might go to Coolbet and bet on it right now.
Hot take.
Penner's Pancake says hire at 100%. He's not getting a look. The coach obviously doesn't trust him. And Run says hire it. There's a third line winger that could do Skinner's current role better. Anyway, I thought the one clip from Knobloch yesterday I heard on Reed and Jay's show, it was interesting. When he was asked about Connor Brown. And he was kind of saying, the puck hasn't been going in for him. He's been doing a lot of good things. And he basically said, it's not like he scores a goal every 2 or 3 games and doesn't provide anything else. And I was just God, I think he's talking about Jeff Skinner kind of there. Like,
yeah, there was a slight dig.
Cass, where do you come out on once their coach loses trust in you? How difficult is that to get? Like, how do you do that? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, why not try to do everything you can to move him then? Like,
yeah, you're done. You're done in that instance. If the coach has no trust in you, coaching staff doesn't, you're finished. Yeah, because it's going to be, unless he gets told by management that you have to play this player, you're not playing. Or you're not playing very many meaningful minutes. Like, you're done at that point.
Cass, what do you see in Jeff Skinner's game when he does play that would allow you to not play him? Or would you?
Like, what's forcing you to?
Why would you not
Doesn't play
Jeff
good defense.
Skinner?
Doesn't play good defense. He's putting up some points offensively, turns over too many pucks, doesn't play good defense.
I'd also point out he very much lacks speed in the neutral zone.
Yeah, he's not as quick as I thought he was.
Well, we'll see what happens there. The Utah Mammoth would be a better name than the Utah Hockey Club. Feel free to throw in Wasatch here at some point as well. But hired or fired, Mammoth is better than Utah Hockey Club.
I'm going to hire it. It's better than the Hockey Club.
You don't love Mammoth, though?
I don't know how they couldn't get Yeti done. That's so disappointing to me. And it's because the cups.
Apparently, the Yeti cups have a lot of power.
But why not join forces?
I know. I thought it would be great.
Like, everyone
dishing out Yetis. You can have Yeti be a major. Like, just tell them
a major
give us the
sponsor.
Name. We'll put you on the middle of the ice, like, or do something like that.
Because it's already in some rinks. It's on the sideboards, right? Like, so I missed opportunity. I hate them.
I'm going to fire it. I like Utah Hockey Club. I know you hate it, Gager.
You're so lame.
No, it's like. Think of all the great English soccer or English football
I hate those
teams.
Too.
And you know what? That's fine. You're entitled to.
I'm just saying,
like
leave
UHC.
it in soccer. Like leave it in soccer. That's a soccer thing.
Yeah, but I just don't mind it. I don't mind it. I like it better than Mammoth or whatever that other weird word is that I can't say.
What would we be saying, though? What would we be saying as hockey guys?
The Wasatch.
Like if the Utah Jazz changed their name to the Utah Basketball Club, what would we be saying about it?
It'd be tough.
We'd be saying it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Mammoth
But
can do a bunch of fun stuff. I want to
that
outlaws, but
rules,
apparently
like-
that's not allowed.
But from a length of how it rolls off the tongue, like basketball. Let's do the syllables. Basketball.
3. There's one more syllable.
Hockey. There's one more syllable, and I feel like that extra syllable makes it like it's too much of a mouthful. Where Utah Hockey Club is so much faster. Like Utah Basketball Club, Utah Hockey Club. It's quicker to say. It's smoother. I don't mind it. I think you could do something cool with the logo and UHC. Like I think of like Dusty. What's your favorite hockey team?
My favorite hockey team? Like, well, I mean, I kind of don't have one now, but I grew up a Habs fan. I mean,
well, you grew up a Habs fan, right? Like, and then kind of it's the same thing to me. Like, and I know it's not the Canadians, the Montreal Canadiens, but I just it's got that feel to it. I don't know. It's got that feel to it. I like it. I know that's not popular with some people, but I like UHC. So.
Are they going to fit 2 people into that mascot uniform for the Mammoth, though? Don't you have to have 2 people in that mascot?
I mean, that'd be good. You could do a funny mammoth that just walks around on its hind legs.
No, you need 2 people in that.
Tied into Ice Age, the movie. Those are good.
Oh, there we go.
Cass, when you were doing syllables, were you actually hitting your hand like back of the? I thought I heard you slap.
I was
your hand.
tapping my desk.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, how about this? I was looking at some numbers today. This does sound crazy, and let me just preface this by saying this is not a slight towards Leon Draisaitl in any way. But the question is, if the Canucks make the playoffs, Quinn Hughes should win the Hart Trophy. Hired or fired?
Fire it. Because he's not a good enough captain to figure out that room.
Cass, what are you going with?
Fire it for different reasons. I'm going to fire it, but I'm going to fire it because they should be a playoff team. Like, look at their roster. They should be a playoff team. That's why I'm going to fire it.
Have you guys?
Because
Have you
it's
guys
not just Quinn Hughes doing something amazing. It's
but, and I'd still go Leon here anyway. But I don't know if I've ever seen this for a defenseman. Okay, Quinn Hughes right now has 58 points. He has 23 more than any forward on their hockey team. JT Miller has 35 points. Quinn Hughes has 58 points. He leads the team, or is tied for the team lead, or he's one behind Kiefer Sherwood in even strength goals as a defenseman. He's plus 15. All the guys behind him, JT Miller -4, Brock Besser -11, Connor Garland -4, Elias Pettersson -4, Jake DeBrusk -4, Puis Suter +7 somehow, Sherwood's -1, Heinen's -1. Like, Quinn Hughes might as well be on the ice by himself.
He is.
I think if the Canucks make the playoffs, he'll be one of the 3 nominees for Hart Trophy. It'll be Draisaitl, it'll be Quinn Hughes, and it'll be somebody else. I don't know who else, but I think he'll be a nominee if they make the playoffs. He has to be.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, he's dragging this team through all this muck and mud that they're in right now. Plays 25 bloody minutes a night. I mean, he's just so far and away like leading them in every category. It's insane.
I could see it. I hate
Game
to say
winners,
but it's reminiscent of Taylor Hall in New Jersey. Didn't he finish with like 35
He
points
was quite ahead.
everyone else?
It wasn't Pavel Bure-esque that one year in Florida where he had 97 and Victor Kozlov had 36.
Yeah, something like that.
That's insane. But Hughes is having a great season. But I would say if the Canucks make the playoffs, he's getting nominated for sure. He might not win it, but we'll see. Okay, and this is up because Corey B today brought in a couple boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts when he popped by to pick up a gift certificate. Krispy Kreme donuts live up to the hype. Hired or fired?
I have to try one. I have never.
Have you
tried.
never had one?
No.
You made me eat a spring roll today?
Never had a.
And you've never had a Krispy Kreme?
Never had a Krispy Kreme.
No.
Would you like to try one?
Well, yeah. I'll
Hey,
go,
Hernan, can you bring Gager the box of Krispy Kremes?
the box.
Well, I didn't want him to touch it and pass it along to you, right? HR violation. He's never had one.
Never had one.
It's not as bad as you having never watched Indiana Jones or Back to the Future, but
It's just a glazed donut.
No, not nearly as bad.
it's
different.
It's not just a glazed donut. Feel how light it is? Feel how light that
It
is?
is light. Oh, it's.
Wait till you bite into this thing. Does it live up to the hype?
It's a good glazed donut.
It's a good glazed donut, right?
Yeah.
Cass, what do you think? Hire it or fire it? Krispy Kreme, live up to the hype.
Fire it. They're good for Krispy Kreme donuts. Like they're good, but they're not like unreal. They're good, but they're not unreal. They're too overhyped.
I classify them as really good, but I do agree with your not unreal take. Like I'm not driving to the south side to get those.
No.
But I'll eat 4 of them if somebody brings them in. Like,
yeah.
It's funny because the glaze, it's not like falling off. It's like glazed in right around.
It's good. It's okay. But my daughter for some reason thinks all the places like this in the U.S. are so much better than what we have here. Like, I took her to Chipotle or whatever, and I was kind of excited.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
have you done the Chick-fil-A thing?
Yeah. Well, no, I've never.
I did it in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I know they're a partner, but Popeyes
destroys
way
them.
better than Chick-fil-A.
So or
maybe I had the wrong thing at Chick-fil-A. I don't know, but I was just like, this is the buzz. I didn't get it.
You're not going to get a better chicken sandwich than at Popeyes. And I'm not just saying that because you can see the screen. Like, I would put that chicken sandwich up against a lot of restaurant chicken sandwiches.
Good.
It is good. So good. The ones that we had here the other day, I couldn't believe it. Like, they're the best.
The troll says, guys, Safeway donuts are better. Safeway actually does have sneaky good donuts.
They have good.
They're messy, but they're sneaky good donuats. Millwood's Matt says, guys, those Krispy Kremes are insane when they fresh come out of the oven.
Well,
and somebody else says you should warm
it
it up for 10 seconds to maybe change things. Haji texts in and says, guys, I currently live in Utah, and the overwhelming vibe was for the team to be Yeti. I believe that the choice to use UHC was to secure the trademarks. LTE had it right this morning that the fans will get used to any name. And as someone who has gotten to UHC, I think it should be the name moving forward.
That's not Haji.
No, not that Haji. No.
Haji. Airdrie Haji.
This is a different Haji. That's Sobeys Haji.
Yeah.
This is Utah Haji. I guess. Yeah, I guess. All right. Oh, and also Italian Center donuts. I would put them definitely above Krispy Kreme. Like they're insane though. Like that is a work of art. They're above Safeway too. Because if you haven't been to the Italian Center and pick up a 12 thing of donuts,
what are you doing?
I mean, you probably have, but if you haven't,
great
try
for kids' parties.
Oh,
because then you just
that's a huge. You almost don't even cake. If
no
that's
cake,
the case, you just go straight up donuts. All right, so what happens today? Klingberg debuts. Does Bouchard score a power play goal? Detroit's got the worst penalty kill in the league. Bouchard hasn't scored on the PP all season. Is tonight the night?
No. Bouchard does not score tonight.
Well, then Klingberg better get his job. This is unbelievable.
Does Klingberg have a point tonight? Yes.
Wow. Okay. I think my favorite scenario coming out of tonight for you guys on the postgame show would be Klingberg gets out for 15 seconds with PP2 and scores a goal.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be funny.
Maybe dances a guy and rifles at shelf.
Dude, GCL Diesel postgame show would just be insane.
Oh, please.
That'd be
It would
insane.
be, I don't want that to happen, but I kind of want that to happen.
I want it to happen. I want to just set up the old computer tonight and just be tweeting away in postgame show.
I'll have to go buy a Klingberg jersey tonight.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Okay, a Kass prediction for tonight. What do you think, buddy? What happens?
Bouchard is going to score a power play goal, and the Oilers win 5-2 with an empty netter.
Bouchard anytime goal plus 475 available with our friends over at Coolbet. At least it was this morning. All right, that is going to do it for Two Guys and Goalie today. What's coming up on EST Afternoons?
Obviously, we're going to get to Klingberg taking over the number 1 spot on the PP. Red Light District at 140. Max Boltman, the Red Wings beat writer from The Atlantic at 220. And then 240, we'll tee up Reed and Jay's fantastic show, 3 to 6.
All righty, that is going to do it for Two Guys and a Goalie today, brought to you by GS Construction. We're going to try to get Sandwith in studio at some point when he's back on our side of the world. He's an international man of mystery, that guy. You know what? He kind of is. He kind of is. I think he kind of is. Yeah, baby. That picture, I mean, that sums it up. Two Guys and Goalie presented by GS Construction. For Matt Kassian and Joaquin Gage, I'm Dustin Nielson. Enjoy the game tonight. I'll be breaking it down tomorrow morning. Dance Party Friday is going to be a good time there. EST Afternoons on the way in less than 5 minutes.